Sorry guys, I just had to have you guys see that amazing moment of Gabby getting beat for killing my potato girl. But welcome back, here is part 2 of my AsaNoya series, and it was supposed to be out yesterday but had to watch my almost 2-year-old nephew. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and make sure you guys like and subscribe. Noya stilled his glass in his hand, a lopsided smile gracing his lips as he bared his teeth in a delighted smile. Right on schedule, Noya, he thought to himself. Tipping his hat back on his head, he placed the small cup of sake down. And I do declare, who do I have the right all pleasure of meeting, Dalin? Why don't ya mosey on out and give us a look at ya honey bunch? His lips dipping into a full smile as the candle showed her unhinged glint in eyes. The shadow in front of him moved, and out of the shadows stood an Oni. He was a thing of legendary fear. There has been poems about the pure frightful nature of an Oni, stories so terrifying they had painted the culture and history of Japan. Bred fright into the folks of a man-eating demon. He was smaller than your average Oni. Noya was guessing only half. Even still, the Oni stood tall and proud, his back lithe and as strong as a tree, his dark midnight blue yukata clinging to him like it was made for him, folding elegantly over the expanse of the Oni's lean muscular form, doing justice to his wide expansive looking back and shoulders, hugging every dip and curve of his body, opening to show the firm strength of his chest and pecs in an erotic display, his posture straight as a ruler and graceful for a Oni. His skin the color of a deep blue, just about the prettiest color this cowboy had ever seen. Like most demons, he shared common traits such as the tusks protruding out of his mouth. Those sharp protruding tusks did nothing to toughen up the softness of those gentle looking lips. Red horns protruding out of his face, a real aesthetically pleasing difference to the hue of his skin. Raven black hair with the tiniest salt and pepper speckling of white to give the Oni a refined, older, dignified look. His hair like shining silk tied back in a traditional top knot that would look nice wrapped around Noya's fingers. His gaze scolded past the dip of the man's hip, resting on the strength of those muscular thighs. Boy, what would Noya like to do with those thighs? They were barely covered by the yukata. It almost made Noya feel like he was looking at something indecent. He almost bit his tongue off as he clamped his slack-jawed mouth shut in awe. Oh my god, darling, you are beautiful. Noya whistled in appreciation, taking in the vast beauty of the creature in front of him. He'd come across a lot of yokai in his time, but none so like this one. The regal way in which he held himself, the sensibility of how he dressed was noble, the intelligence in those white glowing eyes. He was like a diamond in the rough. The Oni, to his credit, only looked slightly perplexed by the cowboy's statement. The only giveaway was the slight clenching of his fists and the trembling of those lips. Noya would like nothing more to kiss away the owner's stance, making him tower over the puny human. Noya stayed seated as a flirtatious grin met his face, making him look boyish in its mischievousness. "Ya got a purdy name to match that handsome mug of yours, darlin'?" He cooed, staring dizzying at the Oni, quite taken by the proud-looking creature. The Oni's eyebrows furrowed, his noble voice like honey against McCree's ears despite the Vinegar reception of his words. "Insolent fool. You are unworthy of knowing." The Oni hisses in anger, the whites of his eyes glowing with barely contained rage, but underneath was a slight hint of embarrassment. Well, butter my biscuits, the cowboy could listen to that thick Japanese accent all day, he thought to himself, before voicing his opinion out loud. "Haikyuu, darlin', real cute." The demon seemed to swallow thickly at that. "Well, looky here, shy and cute," he grinned up at the Oni, who looked impatient. "Suppose we out dance the samba? Hey, ain't in my nature to go beating up such a handsome filly like y'all. I'd rather show ya the gentle-like side of this cowboy. It would be a darn crying shame to hurt that real purty face of yours, honey bunch." The man mumbled, pulling himself to his feet lazily and reluctantly. He watched the Oni still glaring at him. "Ready or not, Dylan, here I come." The man launched into action,